Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the features and options I would like to see in Forza Horizon 4. Now yes, Forza Horizon 4 is very on its way. E3 is literally only a month away. Horizon 4 is meant to come out at around, well, I guess it's going to come out around September, October time. So I don't think we have too long to wait now. So it's very important now, before E3, it's worth talking about the things and features I would like to see in the game, just after playing Horizon 3 and knowing what things get on my nerves and what don't. Now before we start, I would like to let you know that Forza Horizon 3 is an amazing game. I love it. I think it's a fantastic game. The graphics are excellent. The car sounds are the best car sounds I've heard for a very long time. And it's got first person views. The first person views are good. The animations are really good. Well, they're okay. But we'll talk about that in this video. To set things off, we will start with one feature I'd like to see, and that is the ability to have indicators. Now yes, this is a very realistic feature. It was on Test Drive Unlimited 2, a PS3 game I absolutely adored. It had indicators and it was a fantastic option to have. They're just cruising along and you just flick the indicators on and you can drive around. You can abide by the traffic laws because you got the indicators you can use. And also if you like cruising around with a crew or a team or a convoy, if you put your indicators on, you know where they're going, the leader's going, so you can follow where they're going. And it's just a really awesome feature that should be added into the game. Now, as you may see in the background, you'll be seeing like Test Drive Unlimited 2 and Driveclub in the background, just showing you the features and options that are included in other games which Forza hasn't got, which is quite unusual. But there we go. The next feature I'd like to see is the ability to turn the engine on and off. Now, Need for Speed really did this. You could just literally drive around, stop somewhere, turn the engine off. And that was quite nice because it sort of gave a bit more of a realistic feel. You felt like a bit more control over your vehicle, and it was a good idea. I think it was a really good option, especially on Need for Speed, where you sort of hide away from the police by turning the engine off. It was a good idea. Test Drive Unlimited 2 had this feature as well, but it only really happened when you've exited out of a building. So when you come out of a dealership, you're allowed to start up your engine. Now that is an absolutely amazing feature, especially when you come out of your dealership with your brand new car. You've got the ability to turn your engine on for the first time. It's just an epic feature. The next feature I'd like to see in Forza Horizon 4 is the roof going up and down ability. It is so annoying in Horizon 3 when you're driving along in a convertible car like a Mazda MX-5 or the Sunbeam Tiger, something along that lines. You're driving along, minding your own business, and suddenly it rains. What can you do? Nothing. You're going to get interior wet and it just looks unrealistic. And even in the game, when you find the Sunbeam Tiger, the mechanic who repairs the cars for you, he even stated, said the people who owned this car originally left the roof open when in the rain and singed the electrics. So you mentioned that, saying they'd been an idiot by leaving the roof open, and you can't even do that yourself, can't put the roof up and down yourself. It's just, yeah. It needs to happen, Forza. Especially, again, I'm showing you footage in the background of Test Drive Unlimited 2 with the roof and the windows going up and down. You feel like you've got more control over your vehicle. You feel like it's your own car as well. The next thing I'd like to see is independent buildings. Now, initially this may sound like a weird thing, but it gives you a place to go. So if you have the auction house and the Forza the festival in a different place, admittedly it would be quite annoying if you're wanting to jump from the Forza Vista to the auction house. It'd be a bit of a pain. You have to keep coming out of the festival to jump to the auction house. But you do have the fast travel option, so you just literally press the X button on the Forza on the Xbox controller, and you can go there. Admittedly, you have to pay a fee unless you find all the billboards, but it's generally not often that much after you sort of found the basic amount. What the independent buildings would do is give you the option to drive around and have a place to go. I feel like with the Forza map is that you've got this big map with so many beautiful scenes like the rainforest and the desert, and then you've got the airfield and that sort of thing. But you've got not really that many places to go. It's just, it feels like it's just a wasted road. It doesn't really go anywhere. Speaking of the map, I would like a next feature is a large, diverse map. Now, admittedly, the Forza Horizon 3 map is actually quite a good map. It's got a rainforest, it's got a city, it's got a town, and it's got a desert and an airfield, which is fantastic. Like, what could you need? What more could you need, really? But I found that because the game was based in Australia, it got quite boring and dull quite quickly. It was just desert really. And when you went through the rainforest, you're like, oh look at this, this is beautiful, and then you just get gone within a few minutes. You're like, oh, well that was a very short rainforest. So it wasn't very big. But then again, we don't really drive often in the rainforest because there's no places near there which you want to go to, unless it's a race or a camera or something you want to complete. It would be nice if we had a nice diverse map with, of course, the independent buildings around to drive to. The next thing I'd like to see is the ability to remove driver tiles from free mode. Now, the driver tiles are so annoying, as you see in the clip here. You're driving around minding your own business and then they just smash straight into you. It's so aggravating. Especially for me, when I was making my Forza test drive videos, I had to create my own race to A, stop the time cycle, and B, to stop the driver tiles from smashing into me when trying to do my video. They are quite annoying from time to time, especially when you want to mind your own business racing up and down the racing, the landing line strip, airfield, that's the word, and they just get in the way. They suddenly just spawn in front of you and smash into you, or they don't know the traffic laws. They're just cruising around down the city or on the motorway, and suddenly they just come out of nowhere, smash into you. They're driving along the wrong side of the road. They're driving the wrong way around the roundabout. They just don't know the traffic laws, and it does get quite annoying. Admittedly, you do get the driver tile bounties, which you will need when you haven't got a lot of money. So that's what I mean by giving you an option that you can just turn it off when you want to have some fun, turn it on when you want to make some money. So it's as simple as that. The next thing I'd like to see is more car meet locations. Now, there was only one car meet location in Horizon 3, and that was at the airfield. Now, having a car meet at the airfield was a brilliant idea because you were able to do your drag races and that quite easily. So I hope they do that in Horizon 4. They stick their one car meet on the airstrip, and then have others around, like have one in the city, then have one in a rainforest, then have one other in like a field somewhere, or have one in a little Victorian town or something. I don't know, I'm literally just reading this off the top of my head. Also, in addition to the car meets, I would like to see the ability to walk around in the car meets. Now you're seeing footage here of me just rolling through cars that are in a car meet. That's all you can do. Where I would love to see, well, they kind of hinted in their trailer for the Forza Horizon 3, is the fact that the bonnet's open and you can have a look around and you can walk around the cars, but you can't do that in the actual game. So it's actually a bit annoying, really, the fact you can't sort of walk around like Test Drive Unlimited 2, where you sort of, as a person, you can walk around the buildings and stuff. Like, it would be nice if you like that, where you can walk around, or like you are in a Forza Vista, really. Like, you can just walk around in first person, looking at other people's and other players' cars, and maybe being able to. It'd be a bit odd to do, especially with the engine changes and customization. It would be a bit difficult to have the bonnets open and stuff all the time. But I don't know, it could be something they might need to work on, or to be honest, the main thing really to have is more car meet locations for me, because it'd be nice to go to one car meet location, change my car, drive to another car meet location, change the car and all that, just do like a grand tour of the map. The next thing I'd like to see is more first person details. Now I know first person is not a good thing, or not like a popular thing these days. It is not really not recommended as such at first. I don't think of the word I'm after, but first person is not really something people always desire. Where for me, I drive in first person all the time, especially in Horizon 3, like almost 100% of the time, unless there's a nice sounding car and I like to hear the exhaust note, then yeah, I'd go into third person. But in first person it feels quite sort of abandoned. It's quite basic. There's not much camera freedom. Now if you see here in this footage, you see me in Driveclub and in Forza. You can have a look at the video comparison. You can see that in Driveclub you can see he's moving his hand away from the steering wheel when the car gets to higher revs, so he's ready to change gear. Now that makes the animations of the gear shifting more accurate, because he takes his hand away from the steering wheel and he's got his hand on the gear stick ready to change gear. Where in Forza he's on the steering wheel all the time, so when you click to change gear, especially when you're in manual, he quickly takes his hand off the steering wheel, puts his hand on the stick, changes gear, and then puts his hand back on again within a split second. It doesn't look that realistic. It's not bad. It's not as bad as Assetto Corsa, but it's not as realistic as Driveclub. In addition to Driveclub, you may be seeing in footage in my videos, I'm doing a bit of editing, you see that there's lock-to-lock steering. I call it lock-to-lock steering, but it's like 360-degree animation. Now that is really realistic, especially when you're doing your drifting or doing tight corners and stuff. It's really sort of quite fascinating seeing your character do a lock-to-lock or 360-degree animation. It makes the game sort of feel more realistic, and also it makes first person look cooler. Especially like if you've seen in Driveclub, it's actually like he's like spinning that wheel round, like drifting. It does make the game have a bit more of a realistic effect. The next thing about another first person detail is the flappy paddles and the gear stick moving. Now in Forza, all he does, he clicks the button, he does the animation like he's clicking the flappy paddle, or does the animation like he's moving the gear stick, but nothing's actually happening. Because you can't actually look down in the camera free room, you don't see him do many gear actions, but on certain cars, especially the KTM Crossbow, you can see that the gear stick doesn't actually move at all. And because of this animation being like having to change gear really quickly, the car's changed gear, and then you see your character change gear, and then it just doesn't suit right, doesn't synchronize properly. So yeah, it is nice to see like the paddles moving and the gear shifter moving. However, in Motorsport 7, I did play that game for a little while. You saw that they have added these details in, like the flappy paddles and the gear shifter, which is good. I hope they implement that in Horizon 4 as well. The next thing I'd like to mention about is less intrusive turbo blow-off / wastegate sounds. Now I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this video, for this comment, but I am not so fond of turbo blow-offs and wastegate sounds. Yes, I like them occasionally, and I do like them. I think they are cool, but not when it's like in a standard car. If the car has been tuned and it's got a big turbo, and you put a turbo upgrade in it, then it makes sense for making these turbo noises. Like if you see in the footage here of me just driving a standard Mitsubishi Eclipse, at low revs it's making the turbo wastegate noise, and it's so aggravating, especially when you're driving along like casually and you change gear. I looked to about 2,000 revs, you change gear and it makes that wastegate noise. It's just a bit unrealistic. Turbos need a certain amount of air to work, so it needs air to put into that wastegate to make the noise. If it's not at that high revs, it's not going to make that much of a noise. Even if a car, and you are going fast and the car is a turbo and you change gear, yes, it's realistic for them to have a a turbo blow-off noise. It makes sense, and I'm glad they did that. I just wish it wasn't so loud. If only if it was like half the volume. Just like Driveclub, you can tell they're there, unless you're driving the Koenigsegg Regera, that thing's really loud. But if you're driving other cars, you know they're there, but they're not as loud and intrusive as it is in Forza. That's my own opinion, but of course you can let me know down in the description below, description or the comments below is what I meant to say, what your opinions are on that. The next thing I'd like to mention about is the ability to turn the music fully off. Yes, I know it's a festival, it's going to need music, but the music in the game, to me, was horrible. I hated the music. There's one particular song that just repeats itself over and over and over and over and over again, and it has the same lyrics and the same horrible voice, and it does it every time. Even in the Forza Fon, or in the Forza Vista, you're in the car meet, or you're in the auction house, it doesn't matter, it's there, making that annoying noise. And it's so aggravating, especially for me being a YouTuber. You don't want to be copyrighted by any video, any songs. You can't remove it unless you flick it over to Groove Music, which is at the moment gone because Spotify's taken it over. So when you flick it over to that, it shuts all the music off, which is good for me, so it stops them from getting copyrighted and hearing that horrible tune. So it's just annoying. Just give us the ability to remove that, to remove the music, just stop it completely. The next thing I like to see in the game is interior changes, interior colour and customization. Now this is a very big thing. I've seen footage of the Crew 2. Now this game is a beast of a game. It's GTA and the Crew and Driver San Francisco merged. Now that is my perfect dream game. I've looked at the footage of the customization and I've seen that you can change the interior colour to the manufacturer colours. And you can change the wood trims, you can make it wood, you can make it carbon fibre, you can make it metal. Wow, like, I'm sorry, but that is fantastic. This is Test Drive Unlimited 2 ilks here. And you can see in the footage I'm showing you of Test Drive where you're changing the interior of the Bugatti, you have more personalisation. It's more your car. It's not Forza's Turn 10 car, where it's black interior all the time. It's your car, you've chose that interior. It's yours, you chose it. So that's the kind of thing I'd like to see. And if this game needs to compete with the Crew 2, which will come out several months before the Horizon, it needs to compete. So I really do hope it has interior customization in terms of its interior manufacture colours, because you can change it to like what the car would have. Like for example, if they added one of my dream cars, the Jaguar S-Type R, in the game, they will give you the ability to have cream. They'll give you the ability to have black with grey centre seats, leather, or you give you the option to have like maple wood dash or a metal wood metal dash. Like that would be perfect. And again, that car will feel like you made it. You chose those parts. You were the one who chose them. It's your car. Forza or Turn 10 didn't put those bits in. You put them in. Admittedly, they put them in the game so you could choose them, but they have not given you the choice. Where in Forza, you have got black interior with those metal facing, and that's it. You can't do anything about it. I know why they've chose black interior. It's because it's neutral. It suits every colour. You can have yellow, you can have white, you can have blue, you can have green, you can have orange. It will all match black interior. Where if you were limited, let's say Forza or Turn 10 had cream interior, but had cream interior only, you wouldn't really want to have an orange car, because orange and cream interior does clash a little bit for me. Or even if a better example really would be if they had red interior. Now if they had red interior and then you wanted a white car, it clashes for me anyway. I don't like red and white interiors, it looks a bit weird. So it clashes and you wouldn't want to have a white car then. That removes white from your options list. So I can see why they've chosen black, but if you can choose the interiors altogether, whoop-de-doo, that has made the best options list ever. In addition to the interior changes, there's the customization. Now, when you build your own cars, again, you can do this in the Crew 2. You can build it in. You can do this in Forza Horizon. You can make. I don't know. I think you can in Motorsport as well. But in Horizon, you can make your own cars. I remember grabbing a Toyota Celica and making it a rally car. I put the fog lights on it. I downloaded a livery that someone made. It was a Castrol livery. It looked really cool. I put the spoilers on it. Put the as accurate as I could wheels on it. It looked fantastic. It looked like a proper rally car until you got inside, and it looked like a standard Celica. It just doesn't look right. So if they give us the ability to like change the steering wheel, change the seats, strip out the interior, like GTA really, like the Benny's vehicles in GTA, the Sultan RS and the Banshee 900R, the Itali GTB, those kind of things, you can strip out the entire interior to make it a race car. That's the sort of customization Forza needs. However, I don't want them to sacrifice the car list for that. So they may be approaching technical limitations here, but I want them to add that kind of customization, as well as having a massive car list. Like having 1,000 car list would be brilliant, but I'm going to talk about my car list in a few days' time, since we are having trouble making the car list. I've been making my car wish list with Carnage 16, but we've had a couple of issues with that. The first one was a live one, but Carnage could not be heard in the video. You may have been lucky enough to see that. But we spoke for an hour. Well, I technically spoke to myself. It was quite embarrassing. So that was a bad idea. So we deleted that. And I did another one earlier, but I tried to edit the pictures into the video, but it didn't work, and I lost it. So me and Kana need to make that video again. So we'll have to wait for a couple of days for that. So yes, the next thing I'd like to see is, last but not least, personalised characters. Again, you can do this in the Crew 2. So that Forza needs to do this to compete against that game, especially if it's a free roam game. But then again, and also if you've seen the footage here, Test Drive Unlimited 2, a game that's nearly 7 years old, is doing that kind of sort of customization with like appearance. You've got different clothes shops, different sort of styles as well. You can go either do my sort of character and have like a big suit and sunglasses, or you can go sort of casual and have a t-shirt and jacket and that sort of thing. And again, the Crew 2 is doing this. But Forza had nothing in terms of character customization. The character, which is the one I chose, looks like he's wearing his nan's curtains. It looks rubbish. So it'd be nice as well if you could just choose how your character looks, because it reflects you better. You could choose like what character you want. You could reflect how the game, how you want the game. Your character, your car, your personalised cars, which again, Test Drive Unlimited 2 did very well at. The Crew 2 looks like it's going to do really well at. But Forza is doing very badly at this current time. I know with Motorsport 7 you can change like your racing suits and stuff, so I do know they are working on character customization. It's just the other bits and pieces that I mentioned previously in this video which I'm not too sure they're working on, but I would really love them to work on.
The changing rooms are there.
Thank you very, very much for watching this video today. That's it, all I've got so far, but that's all that I can think of in terms of things I would like to see in Forza. I would love you to put something down in the comments down below on what you agree on and disagree on. Now, I know I'm not a perfect example of what everyone wants, because I'm quite a niche. I suppose Carno's is pretty much the same sort of opinions as mine. But it'd be nice to see other people who agree or disagree with me. But please don't be horrible to me down in the comments. I just want to know your opinions, and of course we'll have a discussion, like saying why we want this, and I'll say I like your comment if I like it, or I like them anyway, to be honest. Unless you be horrible to me, then I'll block your comment. I'm joking, alright. By the way, yes, so that's what we want to do. I want to have a quick. I don't mind having a discussion with you down in the comments. It'd be nice to have to know what everyone else wants as well, and see if I'm actually talking sense or not. But yeah, it would be really nice to know what everyone else is thinking. Really nice to know who agrees with me, who doesn't, and see hopefully if Forza or Turn 10 looks at this video, and hopefully, I doubt it because I've only got 130 subscribers, so they're not going to pay any attention to me, but it would be nice if they actually did consider these options. Anyway, thank you very, very much for watching this video today. I'm planning to release a car wish list video with Carnage 16 within about 2 weeks or so, because we need a break from that after doing it twice in a row and it not working. So we'll see that in a couple of weeks. I've also got Need for Speed Most Wanted test drive videos coming out soon. Test Drive Unlimited 2 showcase test drive videos are coming out soon, but there may be about June-ish time. It depends how long it takes me to upload the videos. There's going to be more GTA updates, but what I'm going to do later on a channel update video, and hopefully I'll talk a bit more what some plans are. Anyway, stop yapping and let's finish up the video today. Thank you very, very much, and hopefully see you in another video. See ya.